Dear all, how are you? I am Nupur. Welcome everybody to my channel, Nature at the Very Core of Science. I am planning to read you the book Persepolis, which is basically an autobiographical comic novel by Iranian writer Marjane Satrapi that follows her life before and after the Iranian Revolution. It's considered to be a graphic memoir that blends the format of a graphic novel with a prose-only memoir. Satrapi's use of a strapped-down visual style was influenced by German expressionism. In 2024, the New York Times named this book Persepolis as a very, very interesting and one of the 100 best books of the 21st century. So in this book, we will enjoy together the story of her childhood and early adulthood in Iran and Austria respectively. But you must be wondering about the name of the book. Yes, of course, let me tell that the name Persepolis is a reference to the ancient capital of the Persian Empire. So this is the first time I'm going to read such a book to you. I will just read one chapter, which will be the name Veil. So the original 4 volumes of Persepolis are in French, and they were originally published in English in 2 volumes, which were later republished as the complete Persepolis. So I have the first volume with me, and it was published in 2003, and it combines the first 2 volumes of the original French series. So now the whole thing is available as a single volume called the Complete Persepolis. And one more fact to share here in this context with you. As of 2018, this book has sold more than 2 million copies worldwide. So you can understand how popular the book became. So as I told that I'm just going to read the opening chapter, and it's named The Veil. And you will find that it describes the implementation of the veil policy in Iran. After the populist 1979 Islamic revolution, during which the westernized monarch called the Shah was overthrown and in favor of Islamic Republic. And the new government becomes increasingly religious and oppressive and makes it obligatory for women and girls to wear a veil that covers most of their faces. And the girls at Marjane school, including her friends like Gulnaz, Mashid, Nareen, Minna, they don't like the veil particularly because they do not understand why they must wear it, and it is so hot outside. And at the same time at school they play games as if they act like revolutionaries, and they say that execution in the name of freedom. So they're kids, so whatever they're just listening, they are just acting, you know. And so in the first drawing that opens the book, a group of girls, you will find that they are sitting in a row with their veils and look very, very unhappy. Marjane sits with them, but she is partially cut by the frame. So everywhere in the streets you will find that there were demonstrations for and against the veil. And before 1979, these girls were all part of a French co-education and non-religious school, which was shut down following the revolution, particularly because bilingual schools are seen as the markers of capitalism and decadence. Otherwise, we found ourselves veiled and separated from our friend. So, that's what Marjane has described. So on the streets, there are demonstrations for and against the veil, of which Marjane's mother also a part of that, and a German journalist photographs her mother, and the photo is placed in many European magazines. And Marjane was very proud of her mother for this demonstrating for her beliefs, but her mother was having fear that she can be just prosecuted for that, as she might be recognized on the street as being the woman in the photograph and be in danger. So she dyed her hair and wears glasses for a long time in order to protect herself. And then you will find that Marjane speaks to her conflicting feelings about the veil. Though her family is modern, she was born with religion and feels deeply religious herself. From a young age, she imaginatively perceives herself as the last prophet, even though all the other prophets in history are men. There is a climax. She doesn't feel that will just discourage her from her conviction of greatness. And she writes her own holy book with rules that derived from religious sources like the first prophet of Iran, Zarathustra, and also her own experience. For example, one rule she devises has that everybody should have a car. Every night she speaks with God, who appears as a character in the book, and confides with her grandmother about her feelings. Though her grandmother is the only person she opens up to, Marjane. They are very close, and codifies that no old person will suffer. And when her grandmother asks her how that is going to be done, and she replies that it will simply be forbidden. And you will find at the last part that when Marjane eventually confides to people in school about her fantasies of prophethood, they make fun of her. They told her crazy. The teacher also gets very annoyed, and she just calls her parents into the classroom to talk to them about her fantasies. But at home, her parents question her, that though defended her before her teacher and told that what is so wrong about that, but inside they were not very happy. So they asked her, and she upright lies to them and says that she wishes to be a doctor. Regardless, she keeps her hopes alive in secret, feeling God that she will continue being a prophet, but that no one should know. So in public, she is not going to tell anymore that she is going to be a prophet. So there is a very hilarious, comical part of this. I want it be justice, love, and the wrath of God all in one. I hope that you are all doing very well and healthy. I miss you guys, and if you have comments, if you like this kind of graphical novel reading, let me know. Then I will just do some more. But because it takes a lot of time, it's a little bit tedious to match the picture with the voiceover and all those things. So if you are interested, let me know. I will go ahead and make some more. Okay? Bye-bye. This is me when I was 10 years old. This was in 1980. And this is a class photo. I am sitting on the far left, so you don't see me. From left to right, Gulnaz, Mashid, Nareen, Minna. In 1979, a revolution took place. It was later called the Islamic Revolution. Then came 1980, the year it became obligatory to wear the veil at school. We did not really like to wear the veil, especially since we did not understand why we had to. It's too hot out. Execution in the name of freedom. Oh, I'm the monster of darkness. Give me my veil back. You will have to lick my feet. Giddy up. And also because the year before, in 1979, we were in a French non-religious school where boys and girls were together. And then suddenly in 1980, all bilingual schools must be closed down. They are symbols of capitalism. Bravo! What wisdom! Of decadence. This is called a cultural revolution. We found ourselves veiled and separated from our friends. And that was that. Everywhere in the streets there were demonstrations for and against the veil. At one of the demonstrations, a German journalist took a photo of my mother. I was really proud of her. Her photo was published in all the European newspapers. And even in one magazine in Iran. My mother was really scared. Have you seen this? Don't worry, darling. She dyed her hair and wore dark glasses for a long time. I really did not know what to think about the veil. Deep down, I was very religious, but as a family, we were very modern and avant-garde. I was born with religion. At the age of 6, I was already sure I was the last prophet. This was a few years before the revolution. Oh, celestial light! Before me, there had been a few others. I am the last prophet. I am a woman. I wanted to be a prophet, because our maid did not eat with us, because my father had a Cadillac, and above all, because my grandmother's knees always ached. Come here, Margie. Help me to stand up. Don't worry. Soon you won't have any more pain. You will see. Like all predecessor, I had my holy book. The first 3 rules came from Zarathustra. He was the first prophet in my country before the Arab invasion. You must base everything on these 3 rules. Behave well, speak well, act well. I also wanted us to celebrate the traditional Zarathustra holidays, like the fire ceremony. Before the Persian New Year Nowruz on March 21st, the first day of spring. Only my grandmother knew about my book. Rule number 6. Everybody should have a car. Rule number 7. All mates should eat at the table with the others. Rule number 8. No old person should have to suffer. In that case, I'll be your first disciple. Really? But tell me how you will arrange for old people not to suffer. It will simply be forbidden. Every night I had a big discussion with God. God, give me some more time. I am not quite ready yet. Yes, you are, celestial light. You are my choice, my last and my best choice. Except for my grandmother, I was obviously the only one who believed in myself. What do you want to be when you grow up? I will be a prophet. Ha 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 ha. She is crazy. My parents were called in by the teacher. Your child is disturbed. She wants to become a prophet. What about it? Doesn't this worry you? No, not at all. Nonetheless, my parents were puzzled. So tell me, my child, what do you want to be when you grow up? A prophet. I want to be a doctor. That's fine, my love. That's fine. I felt guilty towards God. You want to be a doctor? I thought that. No, I will be a prophet, but they must not know. I wanted to be justice, love, and the wrath of God all in one.